Hello and welcome, engineering students at Monarch High School. This is Mr. Stalter, and this is your introduction to the fall semester. I will be seeing periods 1 through 4 and for the fall, and then 5 through 8 in the spring. This is my 5th year here at Monarch High School, my 21st year teaching. This year we have the privilege of having Mr. Tanner Foreman, who's a CSU student, who's going to be student teaching with us and helping out in the shop and helping create this online learning experience, which I'm kind of excited about. I kind of look at this like an engineering problem. So you have your problem statement. So we have a whole list of problems that we need to solve this year. And I'm asking you to think like an engineer as we tackle a lot of these problems. So you have a problem, then we're going to research ways to solve these problems. Okay. Some of the solutions are going to be a lot different than what we would have in a traditional classroom. Some of the problems I'm looking at is like bandwidth. I foresee that as being a problem probably as a nation because everybody's going to be streaming. I have 3 kids at home that are going to be streaming in their classrooms, and then I'm going to be streaming on the upstream, my classroom. And then if my wife's online, that'll be 5 people streaming at the same time, which I foresee problems. So I'm going to try to do a lot of this out of the classroom. Unfortunately, no students are allowed in the classroom, so I know some students that email me about coming in and building things. That can't happen at this point, especially in phase 1, and we'll just have to see what happens in the future. Myself and Mr. Foreman are allowed in here, so my goal is that when we do our online hands-on, if that even makes sense, that you guys will be designing projects for the 3D printer, for the CNC router, the laser, and with SolidWorks CAD programs, and you guys are going to send us those files, and then we're going to be able to make it in-house. That way Mr. Foreman learns how to use all the equipment, and you guys are learning how to design still. Some of the problems are like where to click. What are you going to do? You're going to be sitting for a long period of time. I suggest, maybe one of our design projects could be to design a stand-up or sit-down workstation for the computers, because there's a lot of ergonomics that we haven't covered. New constraints. Our live meetings will be in Google Meet, and we'll just have to see what that bandwidth is like. And like I said, I'll have a backup plan because I have some bandwidth questionable. That I'll have things on Schoology to help even if we can't go live. Let's say we're totally, internet goes out at school, I can't communicate, I still want to have everything up online, so it'd be similar to spring at that point, and you would need to access that each day. So they're really looking at live classrooms. So it's not like spring when it comes to attendance. You need to be in those live Google Meets, and we'll probably have a Google form at some point for you guys to take attendance. Otherwise, I plan on just seeing who's in the classroom to take attendance. So you are going to have to get out of bed. You are going to have to be in those live sessions. I don't know how tardies work, but really what it comes down to is, are you learning? Are you getting that information? New solutions. There's all kinds of apps. Boy, I'm learning all kinds of new apps on the internet, and a lot of your teachers are. So a lot of this stuff will be a lot more interactive than what you experienced in the spring. I still want you guys becoming an online learner. I think that's a huge 2020 learning set. You guys moving forward, you need to be able to learn through the online format. Who knows how long this is going to go on, or if something else comes about in the future. And, even on a snow day, why can't we do this on a snow day if we were even in the traditional sense? There's a lot of uses. There's a lot of things we're going to learn going forward here. And there's a lot more possibilities, and there's some limitations, and that's some of the stuff we're going to work around. And that's just kind of like a soft skill now. You're going to need to know how to get online, how to communicate, stay connected. By gosh, if you just put your head down and try to act like this isn't going to happen, it's happening. All right? So if it's not understanding, email me. Call me. You can call me. We can hear each other's voice. So that way, sometimes when we're talking or texting in the online, you don't really get the nonverbals. So sometimes somebody might text you something that sounds kind of offensive when they didn't, maybe the grammar, the punctuation wasn't there to kind of, like I put it like a happy face at the end of some sentences, not because I like to put happy faces on, but sometimes it just, trying to make sure that it's read correctly. And sometimes you can only get that from face-to-face or on a phone call conversation, right? Personally, this is making me a better teacher. My classes are becoming a lot more structured, for good or for better or for worse. I know a lot of times in a traditional setting, especially the advanced classes, they start a project, and I'm just kind of walking around keeping you guys going, showing you a machine or two here each day. We're going to have to kind of group ourselves together. It's going to be a lot more structured, which means we're probably going to lose a little bit of flexibility when it comes to personal projects. I'm foreseeing a lot of small group projects and decision-making processes that we're going to have to do in the online format. So we're going to be collaborating in small groups, and then Mr. Stalter and Mr. Foreman will be your fabrication. We'll be like think of us like an offshore manufacturing, right? You guys designed a prototype, you guys send it to somebody else to build it. And that's pretty typical when it comes to manufacturing and engineering. The engineers don't make all their prototypes. A lot of times it's sent out to a machine shop or a fabrication lab to produce that so that they get it done right and they're using their resources wisely. And I really want a lot of feedback from the learning side of things. I know what my intent is. I know what I'm trying to do, but it's really your feedback. So I have some Google Form surveys and I really want to hear back. Hey, this isn't working. Let's try what Mrs. Taylor's doing in science, or what what your other teachers are doing, and maybe that'll help build our online classroom. All right. I still want you guys designing unique solutions to engineering problems, growing as a SOLIDWORKS user. I really want to keep it fun and create creative ways to build. I know I'm going to be working at workflows. When you guys send me files, I'm going to be thinking, how can we make this workflow a little faster? So that might help in the shop in the future. Definitely want you guys to stay safe and healthy, so please communicate with me. Say, hey, Mr. My whole family's down with a virus, Those are good things to know. I'm very reasonable. I'm very flexible, but I really expect the communication to happen. I really need you guys talking to me and keeping me in the loop. I still want you guys looking forward for a career pathway. Start thinking about, I'm a senior. I should probably start thinking about what I want to do as a career so I can select the correct college. I'm a freshman. I'm just kind of more exploring what's out there. What is engineering? What would I be doing? What kind of careers do those look like? So I still want to cover a lot of that. I got a lot of letters of recommendation on my plate, especially from you seniors. Just give me some time to get this online classroom rolling. If you have a specific deadline that's coming up, let me know that. Don't think I forgot about you. I like to do a unique one for each student, and put in specific examples of what you've done. So give me some time on that. One of the things I need to do is get Mr. Foreman familiar with all the classroom equipment. So that'll be nice. If you guys can learn the design collaboration piece, send us the files, and Mr. Foreman will hopefully be a master at the CNC router and the laser and the 3D printing when this is all said and done. One of my goals is to make sure that you're comfortable with online learning, that you're okay to raise your hand and speak to 35 other students in an online format. And then understand that in a group decision making, the person who yells the loudest or has the prettiest pictures doesn't always have the best idea. So we're going to work on ways to get everybody in the group voices heard, so we can make a good quality decision based on all people's input. Being connected to the classroom. Don't lose connection. If something's going on, you're having a bad week, let me know. And then, you guys should be excited about the future. This is just an obstacle. This online learning thing and everything's going on in the world, these are just obstacles. These are problems. These are tests on you, on your character, on your ambition, right? So stay excited. There's a lot of cool things going to happen. And then problem solve objectively. Don't try to stay objective. Hey, this is what's really bothering me. How do I adapt and overcome that? Not just an engineering problem, in your personal life. This is really I got a family issue. What's the problem specifically? What are some possible ways to get through that, right? So that problem solving process can work in a lot of different ways. For the first day, right, Wednesday, August 26th, make sure you're looking at the bell schedule. I need you in that Google meet at the time that class bell says. I'm going to take attendance. I'll just call out your name for the first couple of weeks so we get to know you. We're going to do some introductions, right? But I need you in that live session. If I can get you in that live session, right, we can definitely make this work. But the first thing is we need to get connected. Go to your Schoology account, look at the classes. I think I'm going to put my picture, which I don't always like to do, on the Schoology page so that when you open up, I don't know what your Schoology pages look like, but mine has got a whole bunch of classes that I don't really need. So I got like 20 different courses, but if I put my picture on the ones that are active, that will help you and myself out, actually. Bandwidth. Cross your fingers, but bandwidth could be an issue. I'm going to try to go the asynchronous and the synchronous, which means live or, when we're not live. So in case the internet thing fails, the whole thing collapses, that you can still access materials on Schoology. Okay? So I'll have these slideshows, which helps me organize what I'm trying to communicate to you. Plus, we'll record our Google Meets. Everything's going to be placed on Schoology, and that's going to be your go-to place. If you're having any problems, email me. You can just go to your BVSD email and type in Stalter. You're going to see 5 Stalters on there. I'm Shane. Or you can just type in Shane.Stalter, and then, or you can call, right? Sometimes a phone call. And what's nice about the phone systems here, if you leave a message, it'll actually send it to my email, which I have my cell phone with me at all times. Okay. And that's kind of life in a nutshell right now. Over here, that's where I'm going to place the link at the top, so you can always see where the class is going to be live. And I'll shut those down because I have a class right after that, and it should record it. And I'll take that, give me some time to take that file. At the end of the day, I'll put those back up on Schoology in case you missed something. Other than that, welcome. This is a new format, and I'm kind of excited about it. I hope it works well, and I hope you are too. And let's stay connected. Let's build some type of online relationship that we can work with. All right. Thanks, guys. Good luck. Hope you're all safe, and see you soon.